I think it's very important for children to have the chance to interact. I mean, we have found in our research they want to interact with their peers, with children of other ages. They also need to have a sort of a free, no rules area where they can experiment and explore. A lot of loose parts and a lot of materials that they can create, design, put together, try out, test, retry. Children from the crib are scientists. They are, from day one, exploring the world, investigating, observing, comparing, and that continues, hopefully, to adulthood and beyond. Open-ended learning is not fixed. There is no right or wrong answer. It's the creativity and the imagination of the child, or adult for that matter, is allowed to explore. Schools are different today, and preparing children for schools in the 21st century is quite different than it was even 10 years ago. There are new ways of teaching that are quite different. One of the strategies for teaching children to be successful is encouraging collaboration, encouraging them to work together, to problem solve, to test ideas, to evaluate ideas, discuss solutions, and then retest. And that's quite different from the way it was even 10 years ago. Schools are different today than they were even 10 years ago. And preparing children to be successful in school and in life involves using new strategies and encouraging children to collaborate with other children, to develop solutions, to test those solutions, to discuss and analyze what was the result, and then retesting. So again, it's preparing children to be successful in life as well as just passing a test. Being free to grow is what childhood is all about, actually. Offering children multiple opportunities to explore their environment, to explore relationships with other children, to manipulate materials, to imagine unrestricted. That's what free to grow is to me. Preschoolers are very much like scientists. They view the world as a giant experiment, and every single moment of their waking time, they are observing, making comparisons, contrasting, making decisions, adjusting those decisions. It's really quite inspiring, and it's very similar to the scientific method. Learning through play is the most effective way to learn because it's totally self-directed. There's joyful discoveries, and it's totally unrestricted. As part of our exhibit planning process, and also as part of the branding process, as you know, we've been kind of exploring language, and we've somewhat gone through changing our language. We've always been about learning through play, but we're expressing it in different ways now. And so it's the aha. I mean, a joyful discovery is the aha moment, isn't it? One exciting element of children playing is they will often repeat an exercise over and over, not get tired, and repeat it over and over again. And when they get to the point where they can make something work, there's an aha moment that brings a smile and a sense of accomplishment, a sense of achievement, and a motivation to move forward and continue. Children don't just learn from 9 to 3 in school. They learn every single moment of the day and night. And so instead of sort of an educational institution, children live in an ecosystem of learning where they're learning in a variety of environments. School certainly is one of them. They're learning at the grocery store. They're learning at the playground. They're learning every moment of their existence. I mean, I think that's an important thing. So they aren't just learning watching television, but I think that brings in the fact that the parents need to be nurturing this opportunity to learn. Children live in an educational ecosystem. They don't just learn in their preschool classroom. They don't just learn in an after-school class. They learn 24/7. So providing rich experiences on a trip to the supermarket, afternoon at the playground, every single moment of the day, parents should be thinking about how they can nurture that creative, imaginative, playful joy of learning. Parents are children's first teacher and probably their best teacher. So again, from day one, children are learning, and parents should hopefully be mindful of that and make each moment of the day and each experience as meaningful as possible. Designing a museum from the ground up is a challenge, but a wonderful opportunity. And so we decided to work with professionals in a graduate school of education to understand exactly the skills and knowledge that was required of children in elementary school, and then work backwards to figure out how can we help children and their families get to that point so children are ready for school, ready to learn, and ready to meet the challenges involved in a formal school environment. A magical moment is success when the smile goes up to the ears, when they've created what they wanted to create, when their vision actually matched the reality of what they create. I think it's having a supportive environment, having encouraging adults, whether they're parents or caregivers or educators, nurturing them, answering questions if need be, but not providing too much guidance, because part of the magic and part of the joy in accomplishment is doing it yourself and not having someone to tell you how to do it. Free play is the best way to learn, and honestly at any age, whether it's preschool through high school, even beyond. Scientists are actually playing when they're making inventions and doing research. They're playing in a bit different way than a preschool child would, but nonetheless, it's all play. Really, the way we learn is by failing, and it's by trying over and over again to come up with a solution, whether it's building a block tower or whether it's designing a computer. And by trying, evaluating, retrying, evaluating again, redesigning again, that's how you learn, and that's the very best way to learn. What is a trend now in education is formal learning institutions such as schools are adopting some of the characteristics, or trying to adopt some of the characteristics and principles of informal learning environments. So encouraging collaboration, encouraging something called design thinking, which involves collaboration, but it also involves coming up with solutions rather than memorizing an answer, understanding what the problem is and how to solve the problem, rather than just memorizing an answer. Design thinking is something new in the required standards, and design thinking involves, rather than memorizing an answer, it involves collaborating with others to develop possible solutions to a problem, testing those solutions, evaluating those tests, and then redesigning to ultimately come up with the best solution, and understanding why it's the best. Collaboration in the preschool years is essential, and it's actually the natural way that children function. They are social beings in every sense of the word, and they love to work with their peers, play with their peers, talk with their peers, and ultimately celebrate with their peers. Self-learning is actually providing interactive learning experiences that are not apparent to the child, so that the child is so engaged in the process and the fun and the joy of executing the activity that they're not aware that they're actually learning. And learning is not a byproduct, it's actually the intention of the activity, but the child is not aware of the learning. For a child, it's walking into an environment that is totally designed for him or her. Everything is the right size, the colors are appealing, the materials are appealing, there's lots to do, and there's no rules. Children are stimulated by color, they're stimulated by movement, they're stimulated by being with other children of all ages, by the possibility of what they can create and imagine. It's opening the door for possibilities and leaving that door wide open and making sure that there are enough materials and enough experiences that stimulate the imagination. And that's what is so freeing, to walk through that open door.